Welcome back into the Sports Source, the segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine. The end of the year promos have begun. G3, for example, is offering Escape to the Lake rebates. That's up to $1,500 back depending on the model, or double rebates on all in-stock 2019 and prior in-stock G3 boats. That's up to $3,000 back. This runs only through Halloween. Now, there are other great rebates going on that we'll be telling you about in the weeks ahead, all right now at Madisonville Marine. Get down there, check them out, or go to madmarine.com to learn more. There's no better place to buy a boat. All right, folks, there is one thing that seems that this fan base has been gone a little mad in recent years, but it's understandable considering what they've been through and what they were used to, and then what you've been through the last 10, 15 years. But it seems they've calmed a bit, and I think a good chunk of that is because the athletic director is someone they know in Phillip Fulmer. And I think that Phillip Fulmer, being the athletic director and personally handpicking Jeremy Pruitt, certainly gave Pruitt more benefit of the doubt than he would have gotten, say, had John Curry hired him. So I think that has been a positive. I think there are a lot of people. Phillip Fulmer put out a note to the fan base just this week. I just thought it's kind of like FDR with the fireside chat. People are, look, the missive from Uncle Phil. Yeah. But my question is, how much security can that buy Jeremy Pruitt if things don't go well this year? At some point, Fulmer has helped insulate him, shield him, I think, bought him a little more time. But fans here, there, or anywhere aren't patient for long anymore. Can Fulmer still insulate him and shield him if things don't go well this year?
Well, I think that's a sign of a good leadership. Coach Fulmer is one of those guys. He's a football guy. The fact that he selected a football coach is the part that I'm really happy about. So the fact that he did that, not a bean counter, selecting a football coach, I feel great about it. The other thing we got to make sure we realize, changes happen through time. Some of the guys that were talking about it a little while ago that, how good they close they felt to those guys, that went through barbecues, that went through all kinds of picnics, that went through going to movies, that went through a lot of time that was developed.
Some other places we won't mention.
Yeah, we won't mention those parts, okay? Yeah. But through time, that's the way you develop the bond. That's the way the locker room comes together. And it doesn't happen overnight. And I feel strongly that Coach Fulmer will stick by his guy, because this is a process. It's not overnight. It's not 24 months. It's not 12 months. It's a process.
I just think he'll stick as long with him until it starts.
And let me just be clear. What I'm getting at is, will the fans start to – right now I think they give Pruitt benefit of the doubt because Fulmer is the guy who hired him. I just don't know if we're sitting here and it's looking like another 5-7 or 6-6, if people are going to be saying, well, I'm still going to be patient because Phillip hired him. I just know fandom. But anyway, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think what you'd see if it starts to get really bad like that, you're going to see Fulmer kind of separate himself from it more than stick with that guy throughout the entire part of it. So I think you'd see a separation towards the end of that. I don't think he would personally
more of
try
a
to
political move.
I disagree a little bit. I think Phillip's going to stick by him. The whole way. Phillip will be in his corner.
Do you agree, though, that the Fulmer factor has helped Pruitt? I mean,
yeah.
if Curry had hired Pruitt, people would have gone, "Oh, you're getting an assistant. This is the best we could do." But Fulmer brought him in, and people go, "Ooh, look at the assistant we got."
That's what happened at the very beginning. You had Fulmer fired, and there wasn't anybody around from Tennessee in the places, and as far as president of the university, as far as chancellors, there was nobody there that was a Tennessee person. And Phillip was the first person, and when they made him athletic director, he was the first person since he got fired to be in a position of authority at the University of Tennessee.
But a football person, it's very different than a football person making a decision as a football hire than a bean counter making a decision of a football player. It's a very big difference. And the other thing too, I feel strongly that he will stick with Pruitt, because what's going to happen with the next guy? The next guy that comes in, he said, well, he only hung up with him for about a year or 2 years. He hung him out to dry.
Yeah, I don't think Phillip Fulmer will fire Jeremy Pruitt this year. That's not what I'm hinting at, getting at. No. I'm looking at more of, he's got a Phillip Fulmer buffer in front of him right now. And I just wonder if things don't go well, if people are going to say, we love you, Phil, move the buffer, let's get these slings and arrows ready for Jeremy Pruitt. That's my guess.
They will.
Yeah, I mean, that's just sports world this day. I think he's benefited from having Fulmer there to this point. I don't know that will continue if things don't go well this year.
I think it will be for at least another 3 to 4 years. You have to. Programs are not built over a year, not built over 2 years. It takes time.
You're right. Needs to be. Daniel Hood's a guy who played under Lane Kiffin, Derek Dooley, Butch Jones. In terms of this school hasn't been great about giving people time.
Well, those were morons. It's a very, very different story.
Wow.
Okay?
I mean, when you look at how the coaching search went, he's with Curry, and then he distanced himself, and then he got the job. And so I just don't see him sticking with it for more than that 3-year term. And I think there's the other school, I think it was Wisconsin, that has a former football coach as an AD. And he's just ran through football coaches.
There's a lot of turnover.
And so he's protected his name. He's got to have his cake.
It'll be interesting to see over time, and I don't think Philip Fulmer got hands-on last year. At some point does he? Because the Barry Alvarez thing is there are 2 ADs in this country who are former football coaches at this point. The rest of them are bean counters. Mm-hmm. And at Wisconsin, he can't keep guys because he gets too hands-on. You didn't see that from Fulmer, at least as far as we know. Jeremy Pruitt.
Well, look at the history with Coach Fulmer. Look at his history. He's been very loyal to his assistants, sometimes to an extreme in the past, right? And so that's his history. Be loyal. Take the course. But he's got a game plan in place that he's not going to be able to throw some people under the bus immediately, because what's going to happen if he has to bring somebody else in? There'll be something that will be against his record.
Well, I agree with that. I don't think he's looking to make any kind of change. I don't think he will be. All right. Thanks to these guys. When we come back, very important. They'll be back a little later. We're going to get them to give us some optimistic takes and some predictions for the season. But next, we do this every year. It's very important, and the number of people who've responded to it grows every year. Get the guys around, your brother, your father, your son, husband. Get them in front of the television for this next segment. It'll be 5 minutes. It could save your life. Come on back on The Sports Source.